let's talk about taking inventory of who you surround yourself with. And I think that this applies through life in general. But when you are growing a business of any kind, I think it is extra important and carries on as you continue to be a small business owner. And I noticed this week, I was on a mastermind call, which is what made me think about this. It is a mastermind call that I have been on since January of this year. So, a reasonable amount of time. I typically get at least one nugget from this call. But last month, and then again this month, just last week, there are a couple of agents on the call who were sharing their frustrations with working with another agent on a deal. And in both instances, it somehow shifted from how could they have handled the situation better or what could they have done differently to bashing the brokerage that these agents were with, two different brokerages. And as I was sitting on the call last month, I was thinking to myself, this is not what I signed up for. I don't want to be around this. I don't want to hear any of this. It's irrelevant. And then it happened again this month, and that was the last straw for me. 24 hours later, I was still thinking about it and thinking, how small-minded is an agent to bash another brokerage because they had a bad experience with one agent? There are really great agents at every single brokerage, and there are really shitty agents at every single brokerage. It just gave me like the complete ick vibe of I'm not going to waste my time on this call with agents who are not doing anything to help their situation or become better agents. And that's not the point of a mastermind call. But it got me thinking about when you are new in real estate, it is really easy to not pay much attention to the inventory of people around you. And I don't just mean fellow agents, although I do think it is really important to surround yourself with agents who are out of the box thinkers, who are always working on bettering themselves, bettering their business. They're not gatekeepers, they uplift you. It's so important and plays into our mindset on a daily basis. But it's not just agents, and it's not even just your broker. It is in life in general, taking inventory of who's around you, who is a taker in your life. And sometimes this is really hard to face. And I have not had an issue with this in business in many, many years, but I have failed miserably in my personal life of being a people pleaser and not valuing my time and energy as much as I should. And when you are running a business, it's so important who you surround yourself with. You need people who are willing to share information and want to see you succeed. They're not gatekeeping. They're not saying, oh, the market's terrible. Like, I don't have any sales, like that negative mentality. And that's not to say that the toxic positivity is any better. It's not. But being around people, your spouse, your significant other, your best friend, your parents, your siblings, it could go on and on. How those people show up is very important because even when things are, not going the way that you plan, which is inevitable when you're running a business, and there's going to be times that you probably want to throw the towel in. And that's all very normal. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think it's part of the process. I think it's happened to me 15 plus years later, almost 20. And I think that it's important who is around you because our subconscious hears everything. And if we are constantly around people who are small-minded, closed-minded, negative, they are energy vampires. There's a lot of different types of people out there. And I think that we have to be very strategic and take a lot of care in our lives to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with the kind of people that we either look up to, that we feel support us, that we feel are going to help us. And in return, that positive relationship is a two-way street. And again, I think that this is business and for personal. And something else happened this week that just made me stop and think about how many miserable people there are in the world in general that I don't want to be around. An agent left feedback on one of my listings saying that the showing was fine, but it's overpriced, and that I'm a city agent and I don't know how to sell rural properties and I'll never sell it for where it's listed. And for a split second, I was like, wow, like you are a nasty little bee. But then I paused and thought, what is so wrong in that agent's life that she felt the need to do that? It says everything about her and nothing about me. And then I kind of laughed because where this house is listed is where I grew up. And there literally used to be more dirt roads than paved roads. And this agent relocated there like 10 years ago. So it's so laughable to me that she felt the need to even leave that in the feedback. And she was right about one thing, though, that I was never going to sell it for where it was listed. She's right. It's under contract for way above list price. So if I had been a new agent, though, I really think that would have hit me hard. It would have bothered me. And I don't want to be around agents like that. And if I were a new agent, I certainly wouldn't want to be around anyone like that because this business is hard enough as it is. Running your own business is hard enough as it is. Real estate agents, we all know within the first few years of getting your real estate license, the failure rate is over 80%. So we don't need anyone tearing us down, especially when you're new to the business. There are agents out there who are willing to help you. There are agents out there who are willing to lift you up. They'll listen to you vent. They want to see you do well. And those are the agents that you should be seeking out, whether it's for a mentor, a coach, your brokerage, maybe it's a mastermind call that you want to join. And don't be afraid if you have been a part of something for months or years to change it up if you feel like, you know what, this really doesn't align with who I want to be or what I want to be associated with. There's nothing that says that you can't change course and go a different direction. And let this be your permission slip to look at things differently and make a change if you need to. We are not meant to just, stay in one place forever. And I just want to make sure that I shared that it was something that I was thinking about after these different events happened to me. And I would have handled it very differently if I was a newer agent, and not for the better. I think that it's just something that over time you build confidence with. You learn more of who you are in this industry and who you want to be. And for me, the last thing that I want to do is be around small-minded agents who are wasting their time bashing a brokerage because they had a bad experience with one agent at that brokerage. I mean, that's just not a good use of my time. It's a shame because I like the host of this mastermind, but I will not be joining in anymore because that's not what I want to be associated with. And it's definitely not what I want to spend my time listening to. It's pointless. So thought for the day is take inventory of who you're surrounding yourself with because it makes a big difference. And sometimes it hits pretty hard if it is a friendship or it's on a personal level of maybe this person really isn't so great to have in my life. I'm kind of working through some of that now myself, and it's difficult, but I think that it's necessary and beneficial. I hope you got some value from this video today. If you did, drop me a comment below. I always love hearing your thoughts. Until I see you on the next one, take care.